Good evening, and it is time for the newscast here on Radio Anafe, developing love in our society. This evening, you are with me, Lester Mhone, but first, a look at our top stories. 3 Carmelite sisters will be celebrating their silver jubilee at Nambitete Parish in the Archdiocese of Lilongwe this Saturday. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has delegated Minister of Foreign Affairs Nancy Tembo to represent him at the African Union Summit in Lusaka, Zambia. The Lilongwe City Council will from next week Tuesday start restricting the selling and displaying of vehicles for hire along undesignated places within the city premises. And in sports news, government says it will use about 20 billion Malawi kwacha to renovate and complete construction of facilities ahead of hosting African Union Sports Council Region 5 Youth Games. Those were the headlines, and now we give you the news in detail. 3 Carmelite sisters will be celebrating their silver jubilee at Nambitete Parish in the Archdiocese of Lilongwe this Saturday. The 3 are Sister Mary Malomo, Sister Delia Ufandika, and Sister Agnes Kajitsotso. In an interview, one of the sisters, Sister Delia Ufandika, expressed her excitement by thanking the Lord for the life she has been in religious life. Sister Ufandika explains to our reporter, Mense Shimwala.
I'm very happy that I'll be celebrating my 25 years in religious life. I thank the Lord that the Lord has been with me since I entered religious life when I was a young girl up to this time. So happy and very grateful to God for whatever He has done to me.
That's the voice of Sister Ufandika. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has delegated Minister of Foreign Affairs Nancy Tembo to represent him at the African Union Summit in Lusaka, Zambia. Public Relations Officer for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, John Kawaye, says President Chakwera has delegated Tembo as one way of concentrating on pressing matters of national development and upholding government prevailing austerity policy. The African Union Summit meeting of regional economic communities is scheduled to take place on 17th July 2022, where President Chakwera was supposed to attend as chair of Southern Africa Development Community. Among the main agenda items at the summit, Kawaye says the meeting will review progress on the AU's Agenda 2063, regional integration, and the implementation of this year's African Union theme on nutrition. Our reporter Eric Norman Inquira spoke with John Kawaye.
His Excellency the President has the Council plans to attend the African Union Summit meeting of the heads of regional economic communities, which is scheduled to take place in Lusaka, Zambia on 17th July. And it has instead designated Honorable Nancy Tembo, Minister of Foreign Affairs, to represent him. Mostly there are 2 issues. First of all, there are some pressing matters of national importance that His Excellency the President would like to address at this particular time. And then there's also the issue of upholding government prevailing austerity measures that government announced a few weeks ago.
The voice of John Kawaye, Public Relations Officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The Malawi Electoral Commission (MEC) says it is carrying out campaigns to help in spreading information and mobilize people to register and verify their details ahead of August 23 local government by-elections. In an interview, Communications Officer said this is to ensure that the citizen understands the significance of taking part in the by-elections, hence the move to civic educate the communities. Mafulirwa is optimistic that the new approach will help in spreading messages to a large population, especially to hard-reached areas. The voter registration process will run from 12 to 25 July. Mafulirwa explains.
On our part as Malawi Electoral Commission, we are doing everything we can to reach out to every eligible person with information about this by-election, more especially voter registration and update. We have engaged the village class This is the first time we are using this approach. We are sending people. These are the people that are already used in the villages to spread messages about all other social events, whether it's funeral or meetings. So we identified these people through the group village headmen, and we have placed them at each and every village. They are going around the homes helping us spread the messages. We are very optimistic that this approach is going to give us an opportunity to reach out to everybody, especially those in hard to reach areas where we could not reach using loud-hailer vehicles, or where we could not reach them through messages sent through churches or mosques. And also appealing to all stakeholders to join hands with us in spreading messages and mobilizing people to participate in this process. These people, we have briefed them, we have trained them, and they have to abide by the code of conduct, which also binds the staff that in their work they should be political and non-partisan, and we are expecting them to do a professional job. We are monitoring them, and should we notice anything, we'll be swift to take action. So we also ask on the citizenry that if such people are seen to be acting in a partisan or impartial manner, they should inform us as Malawi Electoral Commission.
The voice of Sangwani Mafrirwa, Public Relations Officer for Malawi Electoral Commission. The National Registration Bureau says it has arranged different strategies aimed at easing challenges which the Bureau has been facing, which has led to delays in printing out the expired and new identity cards in time. Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Homeland and National Security, Mphatso Augustine Sambo, said this on Wednesday during a district executive meeting in Dowa district. While acknowledging the problem, Sambo is optimistic that with the new strategies, the Bureau will be able to print more identity cards within the recommended time frame. Among the strategies, the Bureau says it has hired additional staff, procuring new printing machines and working 24 hours.
The national IDs are issued to any citizen who is 16 years and older, but the ID is supposed to expire after every 10 years. So that means by the 2017 already, some people were turning 26 years and their IDs should have expired. Others 36 years, others for the 6 years. So because of the grace period that was there, in 2021, over 3 million cards had expired. So that overwhelmed the processes and the systems at the National Registration Bureau. Our printers could not manage to, we are using medium-sized printers. We could not manage to print all the cards at once. So this has increased the backlog, but as a way forward, we have come up with a few strategies. One of it is to work 24 hours to print IDs day and night. Another strategy is to recruit more staff, and another strategy is to buy more printers. And right now we are printing more cards than ever before. However, going forward, we're also looking at engaging an external contractor, those who work on the printing and the issuance of cards, so that they can clear the backlog for us. I really would like to apologize to all the Malawians for this, but be assured that we are working very hard to ensure that this problem is cleared in the near future.
The voice of Mphatso Augustine Sambo, Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Homeland and National Security. The Lilongwe City Council has announced that from next week Tuesday it will start restricting the selling and displaying of vehicles for hire along undesignated places within the city premises. In a statement issued by Acting Chief Executive Officer for Lilongwe City Council, Vito Mulula, says selling of cars and displaying of vehicles for hire in undesignated places is prohibited according to the bylaws governing the council. The council has requested those operating the business to stop this effective 19th July 2022, failing which the council will remove all cars along the streets and that the council shall not be responsible for any damage that will occur during the operation. The statement has further requested car hire and sellers to link with council officials for them to be directed to proper designated car sites where such business is acceptable. And in sports news, government has revealed its plans that will use about 20 billion Malawi kwacha to renovate and complete construction of facilities ahead of hosting African Union Sports Council Region 5 Youth Games. This comes as the country is running against time to complete magnificent Griffin Sayenda Sports Complex and Kamuzu Institute of Aquatic Center that will be used for the games in December this year. Monica Chinyamalipia has more in this report.
Minister of Sports Richard Banda said government has bumped into 20 billion kwacha that will be used to rehabilitate facilities including NRC, Nalikule, Sivo, BNS and Silver Stadium that will be used during the games. According to Chimwendo Banda, part of the money is being used to complete construction of multi-million worth facilities of Kamuzu Institute Aquatic Center for Griffin Sayenda Sports Complex in Nilongwe. Chimwendo has also urged the corporate world to use the tournament to sell their products as over 2,000 people from 10 countries will be coming to Malawi. Meanwhile, Chancellor Kafura Panjira, Chief Executive for Malawi Confederation of Chambers and Commerce and Industry, AMCCCI, has said this is the right opportunity for private sector to sell their brands in the region, which in the end will help to earn more financial returns to Malawi. This is the first time for Malawi to host such games. The games will start from 2nd to 11th December 2022. For Radio Linafe, this is Monica Chinyamalipia reporting.
And with that report, we conclude our newscast this evening. But before we go, a reminder of our top stories. 3 Camelot sisters will be celebrating their silver jubilee at Namitete Parish in the Archdiocese of Lilongwe this Saturday. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has dedicated Minister of Foreign Affairs Nassir Tembo to represent him at the African Union Summit in Lusaka, Zambia. The Lilongwe City Council will from next week Tuesday start restricting the selling and displaying of vehicles for hire along undesignated places within the city premises. And in sports news, government will use about 20 billion Malawi kwacha to renovate and complete construction of facilities ahead of hosting African Union Sports Council Region 5 Youth Games. You have been with me, Mhone. Good evening.